Hello, Hyper Peaches! Welcome to our 16th episode. I'm Erica.
And I'm Joyce.
Hello.
Hello. How are
How
you?
has your week been going?
Um, it's okay. It's that time of the month, so I'm super tired. But what's new, you know? I don't know why. For me, every time it's that time of the month, I'm like, oh, like I'm so familiar with this like tiredness. It's almost like I wish you never. It's always every time it's like I wish you never come, but it's like I expect you to come kind of thing. I don't know. It's just so bad. I don't like this like toxic cycle that I have with my people.
I know. It's like 1 out of 4 episodes that we record every month. There has to be one where we're like physically tired, and there's one where we're like mentally tired, and then the rest of the two are just like, we either like on a high 9 or like an average 7.
I know. That's our pattern actually. So I would say like I'm a 7.5. Everything's okay. Nothing much is, going on. Life is going. Work is good. So yeah, how about
it's
you?
Almost midweek. It's like, my week has been going. It's been all right. It's just a lot of work because last week I was super excited because I just started. I just got on board. This week is still it's not exciting, but it's like I'm enjoying it. But at the same time, it's like getting busier, and you know that like it's not a frustration, but like when you first started, people would be giving you would be more lenient on you, and just whatever you did, it's like, well, you can do better, but then this is good enough. Like good job, nice job. Stuff like that. And this week it would be fewer, and it would just be less encouragement and more like, well, actually, you know what, this is the way it should be done, and stuff like that.
Slowly easing in you to reality.
Yeah, exactly. Just have to go through that. It's just part of life, part of growing, right?
Yeah, for sure. As long as you're doing your best and they see that you're trying hard and you obviously want to improve. So I think it's a two-way street, and that's totally normal for a company to push you because you will want them to push you too, kind of thing.
Yeah, true that. And my work boss has been very flexible with everything else, so I'm happy with that.
Oh, I have one more thing that's like super like unrelated. I'm having like what do you call like traveling withdrawal with I can never say that word, withdrawals. Yeah. I thought
that's normal. You just came back from 1 month of traveling.
Yeah. And to think that like 1 month I was like so reluctant to like go on this trip, and then now I'm like, oh, I miss traveling so much. Like,
you're already planning for the next one, right?
Yeah.
Let's start thinking about our F1 race.
Erica, I'm telling you, you have to think about it. Seriously, think about it. And I think
I'm pondering, sleeping on this stuff. I want to go. Did you watch the race last weekend?
We watched last night.
Right.
Because the race was like more Canada time, right? So it was like 2 a.m. So we had to watch it. We kind of downloaded and then watched it last night, and it just makes me want to be there in person and actually cheer for my favorite team. And
I'm not sure though that I want to go to the one in
Spain,
in Europe.
Why?
I don't know. I kind of want to go to the one in Montreal. It feels more chill somehow.
But you would want to go to Canada for traveling? Not Spain?
I wouldn't mind. I've been there, but I don't know. I'm the kind of person, I was talking about it with my coworkers today, where like people keep saying they want to travel around the world, but do they really want to? Like people mostly just tend to go to a place, fall for it, get inclined to really like it, and then keep going back to the same place. But they really end up traveling around the world. It's like 100 people say that, and I end up just maybe less than 3 that did that.
Yeah. I think it depends, right? Like it definitely depends on how of an, I guess, extrovert. I don't know if that has a correspondence. Like for me, I was like, oh, because after 2.5 years I've been traveled, I would want to, like, the first time I'm traveling, I would want to go to somewhere that I'm familiar with.
Familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh, New York, I've been there twice. So I'm like, oh, I'm comfortable going the third time. Oh, Hawaii, I studied there. I'm comfortable going there again. Because after for so long not traveling, this is something that I'm semi-familiar with. But then after this trip, I'm like, ooh, like I'm ready for something that is a little more like, more exploring, like going to a new city, like not knowing the language, being lost, or just like trying more new things. And honestly, it just really depends. I think there's no right or wrong or no preference. So it's a mood thing, you know.
It's always a mood thing for us.
It's always a mood thing. Even our topics, right? Like we go by. Well, this week I think it's very interesting. And I think it just goes by the mood, and we both have that same vibe where we could kind of sense what we feel like talking, what we don't feel like talking. And that really sets the tone of how our podcast would turn out, you know.
I was just wanna, I don't know, I was gonna say how I came up with this topic, but honestly it's just like I was trying to think about stuff that we all, as you know, adults in our mid-20s have gone through or would be sooner or later would go through
at some point.
At some point, this is definitely one of the things that you have to do. And that would be meeting your significant other's parents. It's an important one, to say the very least.
It's an important meeting of your life, to say the least. That's why I was thinking, like, wow, this is so interesting. Like, I think we never really had a sit down to talk about this, like, so formally. You know, it's always just like it's either you don't ask your friends or you're just like, oh, how was it? Or, you know, it's like very brief, very surface level. But this time we're actually gonna go deep, and I want to ask you, like, this is obviously our own preference and by our own experience. There's no scientific reference to what is right for this, but how long do you think for you or other people it's a good time to meet their significant other's parents?
That's a good one. I guess I don't know, because from my previous experiences, I met my ex-boyfriend's current boyfriend's parents quite soon. Like I guess like
how soon?
A month or two.
That's quite fast.
Our relationship. Yeah, quite fast. Just because it feels like the natural thing to do. Even for my parents per se, they met my they've basically met all my boyfriends, regardless of it being like a 1 month or 2 month long relationship. It feels more like a like an introduction, you know. And it's also like if I have feelings for this person, and I kind of want my parents to not to approve of him, but at least to, you know, just kind of observe him a little. And if he's like there's something wrong with it, they might be able to give me a heads up. Yeah, interesting. So there's kind of a unspoken time frame.
I would say so too, right? Like, I would definitely at least give it 1 month, like bottom line 1 month, because I think that 1 month also gives you your own time to figure out, wait, is this person like worth me going to the hassle of scheduling to meet my parents? You know, like, you could kind of gauge at first, like, oh, would they kind of get along? Like, would they be polite? Like, how would they
say the wrong thing?
And you don't want to have an ugly situation, right? So I would say a month, but it also depends on a lot of circumstances, I think. Like, how long have you known your significant other, kind of thing, you know? Like,
Yeah.
if you only just met him, like, I don't know, a couple weeks or a couple months, maybe wait a little more. But if you've known each other for,
Like
you've been
friends.
family friends, and my
Yeah.
experience, like, and like, you know, just like you've known each other studying or went to the same high school, whatever, then I'm sure maybe your parents have met him at some point, him or her at some point already, you know. So it just really depends on the time frame. So yeah, but I would say give it a month. Min.
Well, do you think there's a difference, like cultural difference, like with I don't know, like people in Western countries? Would it take them longer or sooner to meet the parents?
I think for Western countries, it might. This is just coming from on top of my head. I would say even earlier. Like, I would say probably faster than Eastern countries to meet each other's parents.
No, actually, you know what? No, because most of them don't live that close to their parents.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So taking that into account, then probably it would be Eastern countries, right? I don't know.
Also depends on if you guys live together, or if you live with your I would say also if you live with your parents, then it will be easier to just get it over with sooner, kind of thing. But if you have your own place, there's really no rush, you know?
Yeah.
Because you
know what?
Yeah.
We're getting like this episode gonna take long. But just I have to, it reminds me of the first boyfriend that I have.
Mm-hmm.
He actually met my mom after our first date. Because
why?
Because he sent me home and he ran into me.
So that's like an unavoidable kind of situation.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah, because you're talking about like if you guys live together, right?
Yeah.
Like, you just have to get over it.
Yeah.
Sooner.
So it really depends on the circumstance.
Yeah.
Interesting. How often do you think you guys, like, you should meet your boyfriend's parents? Is it up to you? How if it's up to you to decide, how often would you want?
If it's entirely up to me, I would say once every 2 to 3 months would be like a very decent frequency. Honestly, I don't really need them to meet like any more frequent than that, just because sometimes less is more.
Okay.
Seriously, like,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Better do less to impress them than not giving them any, capacity at all to put together a good picture, like a nice picture of how my boyfriend actually is.
Yeah. I think you make a good point. Like, I would say like once every 2 to 3 months, just because, like, yeah, I think no matter how nice they are, no matter how much you guys get along, I would say you're still trying to not put, you're being yourself, but you still have to put on your best self, kind of thing, right? You're not like with your BFFs.
Yeah.
You're not like you could
at least for me.
Sorry?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least for me, some people could be really comfortable around their SO's parents, but not me entirely.
I think so too. Like, I think, like, yeah, we respect each other. Like, we have nice conversations, but at the end of the day, it's not like they're your BFF, right? And I don't think you need to try and make them your BFF either. That's not the goal. It's just trying to stay respectful at a timely manner. So yeah, I just think
given that the two of us we have both dated our boyfriends for 3.5, 4 years.
3 to 3.5 years, yeah.
Yes.
That's quite long.
Like pretty long, actually.
Would
you mind going on a trip with what? Sorry.
Pat on the back.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Sorry.
Would I what? Would I trip?
Yeah, would you go on a trip with them? Like 2 weeks long vacation.
That's a 24-hour a day activity.
Uh-huh. Times 14. What would that be?
Wait. Damn.
280 plus 56. That would be
I can't calculate.
300. 300 and
Something hours.
yes, I'm gonna stop.
46.
46. Yes. Sorry.
How about
Continue.
that? I'll go on that trip if it's like if it's mandatory to a point that's like, you know, like we're getting married. Like it's like getting like getting super serious, and it's like I just have to do it. I would, but I feel like it's very important before to go on that trip to talk to your SO about when are sometimes we could like meet friends, or what are sometimes that we could go off and have personal, like just alone time. Like I would want to know those moments, so there's a so it doesn't come off to just like, oh, we're double dating like 24 hours. I think that would be quite overwhelming for a lot of people. What do you think?
Understandable. Actually, similar thoughts. I mean, I would not actually prefer that, but
Really,
when you do
really
not
want
have a
it.
choice,
Yeah.
so you want to go on a trip, and then Auntie Uncle were like, "Hey, would you mind if we join? We really want to check out this place as well."
Yeah, we've never
How
been.
could you say no? I mean, if you first started dating, then yes, it would be kind of understandable. I mean, they wouldn't even ask. But given that we've dated like 3 or 4 years, then you cannot avoid that, right? Yeah. And I guess it's more like the balance thing is so important. Like I don't mind traveling together during daytime, but at least at night, maybe give us some privacy.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, like
we
we might be going bar hopping,
yeah,
and then
and
you
just
guys
be
could
like,
just
you
like
guys,
stay
you
here.
guys should, you know, take it easy tonight. You know, just like rest
Exactly.
early.
Yep. Call
Put
it a
it in there.
night.
Yeah.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
But make it sound like you're so understanding and you want them to get a good rest and take care of themselves. You know, that's just the way to do it, you know.
You know, actually, that role might reverse at some point. It might
What do
be
you mean?
us calling it a night, and then they would be the ones going out bar hopping.
Maybe
Yeah,
that could work.
because I feel like I'm the type who, when I travel, I don't actually like. I still wouldn't want to stay up for
Really?
or whatever. I don't. Yeah, I'm so easily tired, especially when I'm like relaxed. I just want to lie down and relax.
Not when you were in Korea, though.
No, actually, when you come to think about it, I do go to bed fairly early every night.
What, in Korea?
Because
You're passed out
I'm
before-
drunk.
You're drunk by dinner.
Exactly.
That's true. And then you get.
I've
and then you
developed a
wake up
pretty
early.
healthy habit. Just like get drunk, go to bed, wake up early next morning, get breakfast.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh, I can't. Okay, so say if it's any trip, if it's a trip, or if it's dinner with your SO, just or a hangout with them. What are some do's and don'ts that you can think of, or that you did and you think are quite helpful to share?
Oh, first off, I think the first time meeting the parents, you definitely have to bring them a gift. Maybe not just the first time, you know, when it's like the birthday celebration or like any other like anniversary celebrations. It would be nice if you could just bring them a little gift. It doesn't have to be anything too expensive, but
It's
at
a
least
good gesture.
Yeah. Something thoughtful. Agreed?
Agree. I would agree. I would say also for me, like, I like say the first time I meet them, I would just not act like I would want to be super engaged in conversations, like just kind of show that you're fully there. Try not to be as present as possible. Try not to roll your phone and roll IG, like bring out your phone too much. I think that's quite disrespectful on the first time you meet. And I mean, there's a lot, right? And offer help, right? I think that's very important. Like, say if you guys are like in dinner setting, I'm not sure how do you serve if it's in a Western restaurant because the server serves you. But anyways, long story short, if you're in a Chinese restaurant and then you have tea, right? You're supposed to pour tea to them. You're supposed to have them take the bite first or take the first kind of dips to eat first. Just all these like table manners. I think it's really important when you're in a dinner gathering with them, you know?
Yeah, it kind of stresses me out sometimes.
Yeah, it does to me as well.
Because I think I do have manners.
Yeah.
But just when it comes to like at a dim sum setting, I'm not very used to having to, you know, like gap song and then someone's all those things. Like and you don't even know how many times are you supposed to do that. Are you supposed to do that every time? If the teapot is like right across the table, are you supposed to go all the way over? Grab the teapot and be like, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. I think it just
some Chinese. Yeah.
No, I think Chinese it depends, people,
right? Yeah, but if they are the one who have to be pouring you tea every time, then does it make you seem impolite and just, you know,
so many unspoken, just like
yeah, especially in Chinese culture. So what else is important, you think? PDA?
No, I think keep it to a minimal at the first time meeting.
Public distribution? Affection? I forgot the full name of it. But you guys
PDA?
know what we were talking about, right? Yeah. It's like public something affection. Basically, not too much kissing, not too much hugging, just not too much. I mean, it's nice to show like you are really into that person.
Public display of affection.
Oh yes, right. Because even in front of friends, I don't think it's nice to keep just, you know, making out in front of your friends.
Of course not. Yeah, that's weird. That's quite weird,
respect, man.
Yeah, I think that's
some people do that.
Thing. Really? Ugh.
Yeah, I've come across a couple where they just keep doing that. I mean, I don't know where to look.
Don't wear something that is too flashy, too designery, show-offy. Too boob show. Just like wear appropriate clothes. I'm not saying that you have to dress like an ajuma, but I'm just saying like you know what to dress, like just like decent normal colors and you know, just don't show your skin too much and just come off as
slut.
Slurred. Yeah.
Slurred.
What's a slurred?
Slut. Oh yeah, and when it comes about offering help, if you're at home, then maybe help just offer, you know, doing the dishes, taking out the dishes, preparing the table, stuff that you don't normally do at home. For me,
I agree. There's so much to do, and it's like what going back to what I said, like, oh, you have to show that you're super engaged, right? And like you have to kind of try to be present, like asking the right questions, right, is like very important when you're trying to show your interest, right, and show that you care for your son.
Yeah. What type of questions would you not ask? Do you think is like you should avoid?
I wouldn't ask about their past too much, like their how should I say? I mean, I would ask, be like, oh,
their relationship, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't ask like at the first date, maybe not like, oh, how did you guys two meet? Or like, I don't know, like that's kind of weird.
Yeah. Me neither.
Of course, you're not gonna
unless they bring it up themselves.
Unless they bring it up, then you can like kind of do a follow-up question, right? Or like, I wouldn't. Oh, sorry, go for it.
No, I was just saying, don't ask about the eggs.
The eggs? Oh, the eggs.
The
Why can't
eggs.
why can't I ask about eggs? I love eggs. What kind of eggs do you like, Uncle? Omelet eggs, over easy eggs, hard boiled eggs?
It's scrambled for me.
That's
The
so
ex
funny.
boyfriends or girlfriends. That's a
Oh
no-no
yeah,
for
that's
me.
kind of weird.
Yeah.
How
Don't
about
go like, oh, who do you think is better? Who do you think is a
yeah?
better girlfriend?
Oh, like
Yeah.
you're saying like you comparing yourself to his past, your SO's past?
Yeah, some people
Oh,
do
that's
that
so weird. Why would you do that?
because they run out of topics. Or
That would be
they just like really want to know if they're better or worse.
how awkward would it be if your SO parents bring them up?
Oh, I've experienced that.
And
It's not as awkward, you know. I was just sitting there, and because she's complimenting me. I mean, if she's
oh
saying something bad about my
oh,
about
then
me
that's fine.
comparing
Then
to
that's fine.
this ex, then yeah, then I would just
If it's the other way around, then that's
flip
bad.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it feels so still feels weird.
it is. And then I guess just like touchy subjects too, right? Like I wouldn't talk about religious either, to be honest. That's quite weird.
Politics,
Sensitive
I
topics.
mean, kind of sensitive unless you're so sure that
They're on the
you
same
hold
page.
very similar beliefs with the parents. Otherwise, don't try to make it into a debate. Because that would just put your partner, your significant other, in a very awkward position.
Yes. Totally
Yeah.
agree. I think the last thing that you want to do in the first time meeting your SO is to put yourself and your partner at an uncomfy situation. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing to try to avoid.
Speaking of uncomfy situations, though, I
Mhm.
think I've come across quite a few times where I was put into an uncomfy situation because, like, my SO was arguing with his parents, and his parent would go like, "What do you think?"
Oh. And then what did you say? If you don't mind sharing.
I didn't say anything. I couldn't think of what to say, and I just stood there. I was like rolling my eyes left and right, disappear into the bush. You know, you have that emoji where, yep, it's just like ignore me. I'm not here.
Wow, that must be one of the top 3 or top 5 moments for your most awkward situations.
Yeah, I hate being put into
Wow.
those situations.
Can't
but,
imagine
I
that.
mean, well, there are just things that you have to experience once, knowing how to handle that, which is to avoid it.
Exactly.
Basically, not handling it is the way to handle it, because whatever you say is gonna piss either one side off. So
Exactly.
just don't say a thing.
Stay
away.
neutral. Walk away.
Yeah.
Stay
Yeah.
quiet when it's the right moment, basically.
Yeah. Basically, though, when they start fighting, you should just leave the table. Don't let
Leave
them
the
put the
situation.
focus on. Yep. Don't give them that opportunity.
Interesting. I think these are all good tips that we've all we come across because we've been through these experiences and situations. Therefore, we can say that these are the do's and don'ts. But I think ultimately, if I think you would agree too. It's just bottom line. It's be yourself and not trying to be her ex, not trying to be, I don't know, someone that you think his parents like. I think if you put that too much in your head, then in the long run, it will just do harm to you, right? It will just make you more and more uncomfortable every time you meet them because you're like, oh, damn it. What girl am I going to play today? What role am I going to play today? What are some lies or some achievements that I didn't do I have to come up with today? Like, why would you want to live that way, right? And I think,
it's kind of just like a job interview.
Wait, what do you mean? Like a job is like a job interview every time, or just like the first time you meet?
I mean, first time is really like a job interview, but the following times are more like
follow up.
If they hire you based on the lies or the braggings that you have done, and you just have to hold up that image, that impression, right?
Exactly.
And you would just suffer at the end.
Yeah, and then you might get fired because you can't do the thing you said you did, right? Or you can't achieve it. Yeah, so it's just gonna backfire you at the end, and I think that will be a very bad idea. So what are some can you sense like what are some red flags to gauge, oh, auntie and uncle doesn't like me, or like I mean I thank God I never experienced that because I'm such a lovely person. Yeah, I'm so lovable. Yeah. I mean, you too, right? You too.
What? Yeah, I mean, but I was being a sensitive person. I would say, when I was having a long distance relationship with my ex-boyfriend, his mom would never contact me, would never text me. We never text, we never talk to each other. Like I know you you meet up for lunches with your boyfriend's mom when he's away, right? Mm-hmm. I never did that. Mm-hmm. And my mom would keep telling me that that's a sign that she doesn't like you. You know, she doesn't think you guys could go. It could be a long-term thing, yeah, for a long run. And so,
is it because she contacted you? Oh, she doesn't want to take the extra time to like get to know you, spend time with you.
Yeah,
because she thinks you're insignificant.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
That might be true.
That might,
but also that was like when I was back in 18, 19. It's also normal that parents don't really take that very seriously.
Yeah,
because you're too young, right?
Yeah.
That would be one
thing,
I guess, kind of a red flag if I have to point that out. And also, I think you would be able to sense that if, say, you guys are engaged in conversations and you keep being left out. You know, it never goes back to you. When you speak, nobody responds. And it just if you want to try to join in a conversation, they wouldn't even let you speak. Yeah, I guess if that's the case, then maybe you have to secretly ask your partner what's wrong. Is there anything that you have done wrong, or maybe you pissed them off unintentionally? Yeah. I mean, these are the things that I haven't gone through before. Because
fortunately,
also pretty likable. My parents.
Good to know.
I guess we did the right thing. We bought them the right gifts.
yeah, exactly. And I think for to add to that red flag, I think you could just kind of sense that when you meet them and when you're having a conversation or when you're having a dinner gathering, if they're ignoring you, if they're one-upping you, or if they are talking about your SO's ex a lot, be like, oh, they used to did that. Oh, I miss her. Yeah. Or I
guess that happens in K-dramas a lot, right?
Yeah, it might happen in real life. You never know. Or it's or asking your SO, oh, how is she doing? Dude, how is she doing? What the heck?
Hello,
I'm right here.
Stop talking about the ex right here.
Yeah. So I think those are pretty obvious red flags that you should probably have a conversation with your SO and be like, so that was a little quite uncomfy. Maybe...
that is actually kind of offensive to me.
Exactly.
If someone did that to me, when I was still younger, probably I would just, I don't know, let it go. But now I'm like, I don't understand why you have to humiliate me like that.
Yeah.
I would probably just voice it out right away. Not right away, but probably in front of him.
That's true. I think
the parents.
I think the older you get, especially I would say me and you too, I think in the past or when we were younger, we just kind of, a lot of times we let things slide. If someone says something to us, we don't want to make it a scene. We don't want to make it a big deal. We don't want to make it about us. So we just let it slide. But deep down, we feel quite bad about it. And we just kind of have to get over it ourselves. Whereas I feel like now, the older that me and you get, we're trying to stay respectful of ourselves. And we try to address it, just be like, this was not right, that what you did, right? And it's obvious that I should address, because
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be fair here, and that's part of growing up.
Borderlines, right?
I
Like we talked
know.
about it earlier.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
important for a woman. Yep. Know your
Yeah.
grounds. Well then, well, oh yeah, I have to ask this.
Yes.
Have you like when you meet the parents, do you talk more? I mean, it's probably you talk more with the mom, right? Than the like the mother than the father, right? I don't know. Like most
Mm.
uncles don't don't have that much to talk about with their
Yes.
son's girlfriends.
Yes.
Is it a norm? Is it like a Chinese thing, or is it like why? Like I could join in your conversations too. I could talk about cars, I could talk about watches, I could talk about alcohol, but uncle
Mm.
don't want to talk to me
Is
for
it
some
because
reason.
is it because they automatically keep a distance? I don't because I
They
don't
do.
know.
Why?
I don't know why. I can't explain why, because I'm not an uncle. But I would say, like, I'm just, it's a wild guess, like for like aunties or for women, I would say, like, at a social setting, it's very easy for women to kind of get like our sixth senses, right? It's very easy to gauge, like, oh, what conversation that I should have with this person or with this girl, right? And I think moms are very good at that.
Yeah.
And auntie as well is very good at just like asking the right questions. It's like, obviously I came back from a trip, therefore you ask about Hawaii, and like, oh, how was the accommodation, how was the food, like just like relatable questions, right? But I feel like uncles, they're just kind of
Like
they like
don't
to talk
care.
about the things that they've been talking about for the past like 30-40 years, and therefore for us to kind of hop on
Yeah.
that conversation, it's just kind of like a little no point. And they love to kind of spiral through their conversations. I feel like what they like, right? It's cars, or whether it's business, or whether it's, I don't know, finance, or whether, well, just all that really
Yeah.
focused minded kind of conversation.
Technical
Yeah,
stuff.
very technical stuff. And then you're just here for it. You're just like, oh, okay, I can join in if you want, but I
Since you
don't know.
decide to leave me out of it, so be it.
And I'll just eat the dessert in front of my face.
And I'll go do the dishes with Auntie. Join that gossip.
How about, okay, how about another question for you? Like, if you,
Yeah.
fuck, we're like, what, 27? I'm 27.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Oh, you're 27 soon. So, when we're parents in the future, and you're gonna meet your kids SO, what kind of parent would you want to be? Would you want to be the over the top, nice, fun auntie, their best friend, or you're gonna be kind of like, I'm just gonna like keep it cool a little bit, or, like, I don't know, just like, what kind of traits would you want to have as a parent meeting their kids SO?
Good question. Good question. I would say, I'm actually thinking that it's gonna be a son for me.
What do you mean? Like, you're gonna have
I'm
a son?
thinking of the girlfriend. Like I like
Well, that's me too.
would just be meeting the girlfriend.
Yeah.
I can't actually think about meeting the boyfriend. Okay, but either way, me being a parent, I guess I could be pretty judgy too. Well, I am pretty judgy. So first impression, just it's so important. If they come as too strong,
Yeah.
like too hardcore,
Yeah.
or too flirty, or just not rude, basically. To me, I don't know, I don't really like, once the impression is formed, I don't let go very easily.
First impressions are very, very mandatory, like very essential for you to set the.
Yeah, it really does. It bears a very strong value, high value in my heart. And probably they would have to do a lot more to impress me.
They would have to do a lot?
They would have to do, I mean, they just have to do more to prove to me that they are not the kind of person that I think they are.
Damn, tough auntie.
Yeah, not that easy going when it comes to parenting, I guess. Not the tiger mom, but it's just that, I don't know. I'm judgy. What can I say?
No, that's good. I think I think what was I gonna say? I was gonna say at first I didn't want it to come off as, like you like judgy and like very strict or like very like
You're just secretly judgy. You're just like not openly judgy.
yeah, we are. And I would defer to them, be like, did you not listen to our episode 16 hyper peaches like 25 years ago? Like, hello, like why are you not doing all the do's and you're doing the don'ts? And then I'll be like,
go check out our episode and come back to talk to me.
Yeah, go study that podcast. Then you come back to me and tell me what are the key takeaways. What have you learned and how you're gonna adapt these skills and knowledges. Then you come back to me and then I'll be like, okay, I'll take
Summary
it.
report, right? Yeah. Written format, 300 words.
No, but I think I'll be very like semi uptight too, I would say. Like the first time, if it's the first time meeting my kids like SO ever, like them bringing a girl home the first time, I would be definitely very uptight. If it's like, oh, it's just a fling and then they come back with like other girlfriends in the future, then maybe I'll be like, oh, it's just like the same routine, like nothing new.
Wait, but would you prefer them to just bring in like the most serious girlfriend, like the official girlfriend, and do like an official meetup with you guys, or you would welcome every fling or like casual girlfriends or boyfriends that they have and just want to meet them either way?
I don't know.
That's different
because I don't know if like what I feel like I wouldn't care if it's a fling, right? I'll be like, I'm not gonna be strict with you because you're gonna be gone in 2 months. So like, if you want to eat the ice cream, it's just in the fridge,
Yeah. No, but the thing is, like, if it's just a fling, you could just straight up tell him, don't bring home a fling.
Yeah,
like if you're not serious about that, don't even waste my time. I don't want to meet her or him.
Meet them. It's tiring having all these interviews and not being able to hire one, Yeah,
exactly. Do a video presentation so that I can shortlist the applicants.
Do a video intro about yourself and do a cover letter, and then we'll screen through it and then let you know if you are acceptable for the final rounds. Yeah,
exactly. So, desirable candidate.
I feel like our whole conversation and conclusion to this meeting meeting your SO parents for the first time, aka like a job interview.
It is. It really is.
That's so stressful.
Because job interviews is about first impressions too, right?
Yeah.
It's about saying the right thing. Like everything that I was literally saying that yesterday at my career workshop.
Yeah.
Like, literally everything that you put on the CV or your cover letter, be prepared to be asked about it. Like don't just put something. Don't just like brag about things.
Exactly. Like make sure you know what you put yourself into, Exactly. And be able to deliver that, because then people can sense your BS right away.
Do your research. Know that we're such judgy parents, and maybe you can just change your mind not to be date my son or my daughter.
I know, dude. We're not gonna. Oh my god, we're gonna be not the fun end. I thought we were cool ends, and then now after this half an hour conversation, I'm like. We're probably
you can be the cool end to my child.
And I will be.
Yours. Yeah. And then they won't even bring. Yeah. They will meet you, and your son's SO or your daughter's SO would meet me.
We have a question though. This is like, oh my god, so far the line. Like I don't know why I'm even talking about it, but this just came out and I have to say it before we close out. If either one of us has like say oh, for example, I have a daughter and you have a son. That's just like the example, okay?
Oh my god, we're talking about
what, arranged marriage? Oh yeah. Why not? Okay, wait, Erica,
Depends
why?
on whether your son is pretty or
Wait,
wait,
what?
I have a daughter or you have a daughter. I forgot.
You have a son. What the hell?
So it depends on whether your daughter is pretty or because my son for sure is pretty or.
Oh, very superficial. Bye.
No, that is the only way to ensure that the offspring of the two
What the heck are you talking about?
would be a good one. Right? You just have to be superficial if you can.
Okay, besides the offspring, like, don't you care about like, oh, his or her upbringing? You already know, like, oh, like my kid is like their upbringing is like top notch, like high level, like same as you. Like it's like, and like the meeting parent part is already way over because we're BFFs, you know.
That's true. That's true.
Like, what if you don't like? What if you and your kids, SO's parents, are like personalities are so way off, and first time you guys meet is like very cringe, very awkward. Just okay, we're going like too down this level.
me as my kid's mother meeting his girlfriend's mother.
Yeah.
And that's so complicated. Right. I thought about it because even for my parents, if they were to meet my SO's parents, I don't know how that's gonna go, you know. I would probably want to run away from that meeting as well.
You're like, let me just go through my bottle of red wine. I'll get back to you.
Yep. Or like bathroom run 4 times during the meal. Every 15 minutes. Oh my god.
So good. This conversation can go on forever.
It really could. Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add?
So much to sleep on it, you know.
No,
I'll
seriously.
think about
Let's get back to this.
One last question.
Yeah.
So if your daughter is like 5 years older than my son, would she still consider him? Okay.
Would she
would she consider him? Or would you as the mother consider my son?
Wait, why are you selling your son to me?
I don't know. I just have to ask. Because you know how like girls don't really prefer guys who are like more than 3 years younger than them?
Oh yeah, so it depends on how mature your son is, right? So ask your son if he thinks he's capable of marrying a 5-year girl that's older than her, you know, and that's like very established and financially stable and it's like ready, you know, then just you know, ask your son.
Okay. Name is probably gonna start with the letter G, by the way.
Wait, what? Gary?
No, George. Gary Gamtat.
Gary is like that uncle next door, you know.
I'm sorry, uncle, but Gary's not a good name. It feels like a fat old bald guy.
Gary looks like a character from Friends. I feel like
Gary looks like a Donald Duck or something.
Yeah, that's
just fat and old.
Thank you guys for listening, and we hope your day is as peachy as this episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Like and rate this podcast on Spotify and iTunes.
Comment or DM us on any of our social media platforms as well. Talk to you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.